you are. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Sarlacc Digest, a podcast bringing line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 290. Holy crap. And being recorded on January 15th, 2025. I had to take a step back. 290? God damn.
Jesus.
I'm your host, Darth Butcher.
We're getting up there.
Exactly. Hey, we got to do this for 1,000 years, right? So it's like, Jesus. Hey, I've got Scott Solo here with me.
What's up, nerds?
Grand Admiral Franz.
Howdy.
And soon to interrupt our show. Very, very soon. Ernie the Fallen.
We should just chit chat for a while because when he comes on, we're going to recap the 15 minutes that he was celebrating 500 subs.
Yeah.
So
actually,
I think let's just roll through the news. I think when we roll,
we just roll
after the housekeeping.
We'll
be straight for this show. We'll be good.
Well, with that, I think I'm kicking over to Scott to shout out our Shadow Council and everybody's being digested in the pit. Remember, Scott, you have control of the pit, so hands off. Hands-free, Mooch. I'm not going to interrupt you this time. Go.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can handle this. I know, right? Okay. All right. First up, here we go. Shout out to our Shadow Council. That is AJ from the Forbidden Panel, Brandon and Anya Epler, Brian C, Cliff, Commander Bly, the sassy Commander Bly. He's sassy in the chat tonight. We've got Crystal E, Don the Dad Dorn, Eric Grubb, Gavin Connor from the Holy Hour All Cure podcast, who I was actually on their show last night. So Yeah, if you want to talk, we copied the wheel, so we did
Nice.
a wheel of cure topics instead of the wheel of Star Wars. It was a lot of fun. Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine Balanos, Matt Logic, Mufftack is back, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ryan, and the Star Joe's podcast. So if you want to join our Shadow Council, just hit that, scan that code right there, or go to patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest Podcast today. And
nice.
Since we're digesting some folks, we've got Commander Bly in there sneaking in early this morning at 11:18 a.m. Pacific time.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh,
he's on it.
Trophy.
Yeah, he is. We got Hal Runner Base in there. We've got Rhino Hobbies. Hello there.
Nice.
We've got Gordon Skalski. He's been absent for a couple
I haven't seen
weeks.
you in a while, Gordon.
All right. Man.
I seen him at Target.
Did you?
Did you? I haven't. I've gone to Target. I missed him, man. We got Basil G in there. Bento 1414. I know B-Wings finally doing what B-Wings do. Let me see who else we got. Did I already hit Rhino Hobbies? Just in case Rhino Hobbies is there. We've got Gavin Connor from the.
He's got control today, Mark.
I know.
I do. Don't
hands
touch
off.
it. Don't touch it.
Did I
Might be the last week.
I'll Runner Base. We've got Stu John Jedi, and of course the infamous Dr. Brantley.
Yes. Yeah. Hope everyone is staying safe out there. We're just going through the motions, man. The world is just going through the motions. So hopefully that you can come here on a Wednesday night and just kind of kick back, talk some Star Wars, hang out.
Get your troubles.
Yeah, laugh, cry, everything in between.
You know, take yourself away into a world that looks like Earth.
Yeah.
Look up at our moon. Look up at our moon tonight. It looks exactly like Ad Atten's moon.
Here's the thing, Chris. There's 9 planets in Star Wars that are earthly now because
they're all exact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, of course, we had our Skeleton Crew finale, and I gotta say, and before we get into, we'll get into that in just a few minutes because we got some other things to go. But the internet is divided once again, and we will kind of get into a couple of things, the reason why. I know. But what matters here is what we think and what the pit thinks. I think that's the internet right here, right? So yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Did you get a Stormtrooper helmet?
Who?
Chris,
Chris?
Got a Stormtrooper?
Yeah, I got a biker scout. I got a biker scout up there too. See, you buy one, and all of a sudden you got Vader. It just goes to Kylo. It was Kylo Ren first. Then it just spun out of control. So.
It is. That's what
as it do.
Yep. We got John Graber checking in, the space jockey. He likes Scott's Neil, but he still spits on the Black Series.
Patooey.
We'll save that for the toy chest show when we break down that. So real fast.
I'm gonna come on just a bitch about pre-orders and Funko, just so you know.
The invite is always open.
Just a spew.
Come in, do that, and we'll just kind of
like
he bounces.
That'd be awesome, actually.
I just need to come on this show to vent for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, let's do it, man. Let's do that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be fun.
Next Monday, man. Monday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Sarlacc Toy
Let me check my calendar.
If you subscribe to our channel, Chris, or hit the bell notification, you will get those times when we go live. So
amazing.
Botnage Brindy already getting in with the Skeleton Crew talk. If they wanted Ad-Attens to work for them, why did the pirates start blowing up their cars so they can't get to work?
They all work down the street. The whole planet's running this little neighborhood.
That's a good point, though. Yeah, it's a good point, but we'll get there. Ray Stevenson has been recast.
Well, I mean, he was still Ray. I'd say Baylan Skoll was recast.
Okay, I'm sorry. Baylan Skoll, who the late and great Ray Stevenson played, has been recast, which we all expected. I think that was the right decision to do it. And then, of course, we all waited on who's going to do, who could fill in the shoes. We all had our speculation. But the name Rory McCann came up. Who plays the Hound? If everybody doesn't know, who played the Hound in Game of Thrones? Don't look up the Hound character. Look up Rory McCann because the Hound character is made up different.
Yeah, but find the one where he's got the Baylan Skoll beard.
Yeah,
he has like a legit.
First off, couple things. I think it was on right off the bat. I think it's a right choice, a great choice. And for one of the main reasons is that I guess they were friends in real life. They knew each other, and yeah,
there you go. That's the beard. Turn that gray, man, and we're styling.
Oh yeah, 100%. And there's your new Baylan Skoll, right there. They were friends in real life and everything, and I love that because I believe he's going to really respect the role. I mean, it's a no-brainer. This is a good choice. I'm happy that the character is coming back and they're not going to write him off and they don't do that stuff. That's fine. There are certain situations in Star Wars where, this will work, right?
Guy. Yeah.
It just works. And I thought like my first, I didn't have any reaction, but oh hell yeah, let's go. Like I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Especially with the rumors of Baylan, his role really taking form into season 2 of Ahsoka, right? So I heard some things
and a rumor about him getting animated treatment too.
Yeah.
It just sucks though because Ray Stevenson was so good in that role.
100%. Yeah.
Of course, there's nothing you can do about that, but still, just you think of what could have been, and
it's more or less not like what we're going to be missing out of that is the fact that he's set up this amazing character and it's going to live on. And that's the cool part. That's the respectable part, Yeah, we're always against recasting, but certain aspects you just have to do it.
Sometimes you can't help it, and especially on a character that's going to be important. And they probably had, like I said, I think they're doing the Tales type of thing with a Baylan Skoll is what I heard, right?
Yes.
With a Baylan Skoll thing. He's bigger than this. They know he was a popular character in Ahsoka. He's somebody they can build on. They want to know his background and all this. So it was tragic there, but there's no way you're not going to recast a character.
Right. Exactly.
Especially when your new stuff doesn't really hit all the time. So when you have something that does resonate and hits pretty well, you better write it.
I agree.
Same thing, by the way, with The Stranger. Figure out a way to get
figure it out, Disney. Yeah. Figure it out.
I don't care about the Acolyte shit, but figure out The Stranger.
Yes, The Stranger, Plagueis, and stuff. Figure it out. Commander Bly, the Hound will do well as Baylan, 100%. Matt Logic checking in. Evening all. Rhino Hobbies, he wanted Ray Donovan. But I'll take the Hound as long as
Leave Schreiber. Yeah. That was one of the choices we thought too. It was great, but I never thought about Roy McCann. Never
Me
once.
neither.
That's why I like these I like leaving it to the people that are professional casters, right? Forget the fan cast shit because these guys always seem to pull stuff out that I'm like, that really worked.
The symbiotic relationship between the Game of Thrones family and the Star Wars family has been merged well. So why not look in that camp all the time? I'm cool with that, Yeah. Here we go. So let's see. Gordon Skolsky, I think he's a great choice for Baylan and a pleasant surprise. Just knowing that the character is going to be in and moving on, it's great. The characters of Baylan and the Hound even have similarities.
Not clear, good or bad.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Very right.
Exactly. Joey, what's up, man? Checking in, of course. How many times will Baylan say the C word? I suspect 0, but we'll all be thinking
on screen, but we can fan fiction it.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Will Roy's Baylan figure be short too? Yeah, probably. If they don't get that opportunity to get that right for the third time, to get a Baylan.
That's too bad because he's an imposing dude, right? Ray Stevenson was. That's one thing about Roy McCann. He's an opposing figure.
Yes,
he's got size.
He might even be bigger than.
Maybe, but that was always Game of Thrones. You do little camera angles, bigger, whatever. But
which is fine. Like I said, I think that
I know all about camera angles making things look bigger.
I've studied the works. Yes, very impressive. Is Coruscant the C word? Yes, dude, John. Yeah. Sometimes it depends on what series you're talking about, Coruscant.
He's
right?
You stupid Coruscant.
So that's cool, man. And I like those. I like that rumor. So that is official. That's happening.
Well, I don't know if it's official, bro. I think we've all run with it. Everybody on the planet's run with it, but Disney.
We always look at the sources, right? Yeah, StarWars.com did not. There were solid sources, and when I say, I mean, it's like the same people who said Rosario Dawson's playing Ahsoka. Same things going that circle. you know, and that's why I'm comfortable to say that, you know. Yeah, of course.
No, I get it. The people that are,
What is rumors though is Ewan McGregor coming back for Kenobi for Ahsoka 2, not a Kenobi 2. Yeah. And the rumor is he will be doing flashbacks. Again, rumors. This is 100% rumors. With him
Makes
coming
sense.
back.
It's an educated. It's either a really educated guess, because I think we can all probably do that, right?
It's going to be in those hologram training things that Ahsoka had. And that's cool. Like I think that would be amazing. I really do, you know.
Yeah. Especially if we get to see him in the armor, like we saw Anakin in the armor. That'd be really cool.
Outstanding.
Yeah. Because I don't think they can let that go. You know what I mean?
At that point, you definitely don't do all that without Rex and Cody, and just like put it all together,
right, on
a live action screen, and have Tammy Morrison playing all sorts of roles.
Yeah,
you know,
we left off with Anakin's ghost staring at Ahsoka, so why not have a Kenobi ghost there too? You know,
ghosted.
We'll see. We'll see. Have the ghost adventures. Yeah.
Have we seen McGregor as Force Ghost? No, we never have.
No,
it's always been. That's the hard part. I would. Yeah. I don't know if
at this point
I'd accept it, but I wouldn't. I'd rather not see Ewan McGregor.
Well, remember, we're seeing Anakin as Anakin Force Ghost, not Anakin as, you know.
But we've already seen Obi-Wan.
Yeah. George Lucas made that change, right? But
so he didn't.
You're right. It should be
McGregor,
an outlet.
So I'm not.
So I'm not cool with that actually. Then, so now I'm cool with the flashback, Clone Wars flashback, Kenobi. Let's do that. Let's
leave it there.
Yeah. We'll write that in. We'll submit that to Lucasfilm.
We just did.
Or like. Or like one of you said also, either the flashback or one of the holograms, like Anakin.
I think that'd be work. I think that works. You know, I don't need a full episode series like that. Like Commander Bly, fans love the Anakin stuff. Absolutely, they almost have to add Kenobi. I just hope it makes sense for the story and not a blatant member berries. Yeah, I mean,
it's gonna be just blatant flashbacks to use the characters.
I mean, I know that one day we will probably revisit Ahsoka again and all that stuff, but I think the Ahsoka series was fantastic myself. Besides the Sabine stuff, but I mean, again, I digress on that. But
that was honestly the only real beef. Besides, I said, and remember, I'm a Thrawn guy, so the initial reaction of Thrawn was.
Yeah, I mean, that's just jarring the aesthetics of it. But I think just like at Atten, I think it grew on you a little bit, and you kind of like ignored.
Oh no, no, it never grew on me, bro. I just ignored it.
Really?
At Atten shit. I hate.
Oh, I thought you meant Thrawn.
Oh no, you just said at Atten. No.
Yeah, I mean,
about me the next. After the initial shock of the belly and stuff, because Thrawn is tall, svelte, fit. Yeah. You know,
he's been gone for 20 years. You know,
you can't do some sit-ups, dude.
No, why should you?
What are you eating?
I don't know.
You're abandoned on this ship. Stop.
Stormtroopers.
But anyway, not to get into Ahsoka right now. We're on
yeah.
But you know,
we definitely will do a dive.
Small things will.
I understand.
Like this
I also understand. I also understand that with age comes, you know, a lack of, you know, a lack of abs comes with age.
It's the testosterone, you know.
We all kind of gain a little bit in the middle, you know.
Yeah, well, who cares? Backyard TARDIS checking in. Scout Crew finale was amazing. Yeah, we will get into that. Anybody here remember Embo? Who Embo is? Yep. So he was one of the bounty hunters in Clone Wars. You got a picture? All right. So this dude is rumored again for a live action appearance in the I think it's Ahsoka series 2 or the Mando Grogu movie.
This is to go along with the Rado the Hutt storyline.
Yeah, that. Mm-hmm. So out of those two rumors, I hope. Okay, I don't care about Rado the Hutt being in it, but the plot kind of leak in that. Not leak, but you know, the speculation that it's just going to be a rehash of the Clone Wars movie that came out. But just anyway,
older version.
Yeah, I don't need that. This guy is awesome. I think they did an amazing job with Cad Bane, bringing him in live action. Everything was cool about it. They could do the same thing with this dude, and he's just going to floor people. So
I believe stuff like this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Embo. Now is he the main character? Who knows? It could be a character that looks like Embo. Right, because we get Disney is very much into doing that shit.
Embo's brother.
This is just another alien like him.
Yeah, just another bounty hunter.
Filoni's down with doing his stuff. He likes to make his characters that he created. So this is one. Embo's a Filoni joint. So
yeah,
that works.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, but yeah, you have IG-12, IG. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's just.
I bitched about that a bunch of times too.
I know. I know.
You're just using knockoffs.
Yeah,
we're teaming with them all.
The pit seems to agree that Embo in live action is a good thing. So yeah, this is one of those cool aliens.
And I hope they exaggerate the head just as much, because remember when they brought Cad Bane, it's not as
sure.
I want it to be big and goofy.
Yeah,
with the Zuvio is just about the same.
He's got to ride it like a skateboard too. Didn't he do that a couple of times? He flipped the thing over.
That hat is his weapon, man. So yeah, let's do it. Basil G even loved the silly Clone Wars action figure. Because that's the only way we're gonna get Embo as a Black Series is that he's the main villain or a villain in the Mando Grogu movie. So let's go.
I still think it's going to be Rada hiring these people to take revenge for the death of his father. I think follow that Dark Empire logic, right? I mean, that's what they were doing in Dark Empire is they hired Boba and Bosk and Dengar to hunt down Han and Leia.
Well, I'd hope so, because that would bring Han, Leia, and them into it.
Right?
But that's a lot. That's a lot.
That is a lot. Then you got Din Djarin trying to save the day. I mean, that's interesting. But
in that series, you can take chances. You can go kind of balls to the wall. A wish list is throw in an actual Star Wars series / movie, whatever, with appropriate progression on everybody we know, right? When we jump into Skeleton Crew here, now that we have all of it, and I'll use this as a segue to get into it. We have all of it as a presented front. We have Skeleton Crew as a whole now, 1 through 8 and everything. And the point I was trying to make is like Skeleton Crew played it so safe that some people are disappointed that they at the whole overall thing because of the safe. But then when Disney tends to go like, all right, well, we're going to really disrupt the field, they lose their mind that they're disrupting the field, like the Acolyte. You know what I mean? Oh my God, you can't have all these things that connect, or like new Force users, all this stuff. There's like, again, even with Disney's pendulum, I think the fandom has a pendulum too. You know what I mean? So where is the happy medium with these series anymore, where you're going to not get criticized for playing too safe like Skeleton Crew, and not get too criticized by going like, oh my God, we're expanding the Star Wars lore, legacy, characters, everything by an Acolyte, and which it did. It really kind of disrupted the field, where Skeleton Crew really said, hey, look, this is a great adventure that happened to have X-Wings and set in Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Well, Acolyte took something that we kind of joke about the Jedi being evil sometimes and taking Anakin's side on it. We kind of play on that and playfully. They took it and made it like canon.
Yeah, they made it a thing.
Jedi are villains.
Well,
it's like, wait, that messes around with it. And as dark as I like to be, the Jedi aren't villains, really. And I know it's supposed to be from the villain's point of view, but it made them look bad.
Right.
And I think that was part of it. Take away all the other stuff, right? Yeah. And we know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
There were still points in that show that were kind of just off the wall.
There exactly. It wasn't a perfect series whatsoever at all. But I was more or less stressing those flagship moments that made people go, oh my God, like the bleeding of the crystal, the being born of the Force, the stranger, plague. Like those are the things that we all look for in all these series, right? Like what we were looking for in Skeleton Crew, even though we kind of knew it wasn't coming, but we were looking for it, was those connections. Hondo, Grogu, like you said.
Dude, Hondo, come on.
I'm okay with it. Honest to God, I am okay with the series, how it ended and everything. Now, I got to say this though. This is one thing. Now, I do think that this last episode should have been 2 parts. I think last week we should have ended on getting to Ad-Atten and the pirates and destroying, and then have this epic conclusion, because I think what we run into is that we get this kind of like adrenaline rush, and then 7 days pass, and then we have to continue that adrenaline rush, where I think we're forgetting some of that momentum. You know what I mean? Like watching it 7 days later, we're like,
because you're not finishing off a story point.
Yeah,
you're jumping. You know what I mean? Yeah,
yeah. Because then it almost feels like it's wrapping up way too quickly, which I felt the finale did. It's like, wait, it's too convenient. The lights are out. To go turn them on. Okay, boom, boom, boom. And, you know what I mean? And I think if you watched it all back to back,
level 7 coordinator, hitting 3
I'm a level 7 coordinator. I do like the fact that the parents were involved in it, kind of helped and saved the day too, and like, Wim's dad got some cojones, right? So it's like, stop asking about your son's assessment, for God's sake, for 2 seconds. He
was being a bitch right up until until he name dropped his title.
You're back. Right? You're gonna go back to
grab the bike.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, Dad.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Ernie?
Hi, how are you?
Good, man. We're just now getting into Skeleton Crew as a whole and everything. So let me catch up with Ernie, and let me catch up with the pit real fast. We got Alexander Storm checking in. We got, let's see. Yeah, interesting. Commander Blythe
earlier,
yeah. I'm getting interested to watch the whole show straight through. Exactly. Watching Skeleton Crew is straight through. I think there's a different energy to it where there's no break, and then maybe that finale won't feel as rushed. And it's not that I didn't like it. It was like I kind of walked off going like, well, that was convenient, but again, a safe show, right?
We weren't underwhelmed. Yeah. We weren't overwhelmed.
I was just cool with it, man. Yeah,
completely. Yeah, it was totally cool.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks. Basil. Recap for Ernie. All right, Ernie. Okay. This is episode 2. No, I'm kidding.
we just got into Skeleton Crew. We timed that just about great.
You did. Yeah.
We're right in the beginning here. We haven't gotten any big plot points on that or anything yet.
No. Great. Commander Blythe says, annoying as Wim's dad was, I laughed when he was looking out the window talking about it just being a power outage. Yeah. The Wim's dad was annoyed, but again, it played on his character and it played on the Wim as somebody at the end. He had that look into the stars. He had that Luke Skywalker moment of dreaming of something bigger, right? Yeah. And that's the heart and soul of Star Wars.
We'll see him in the Ray movie.
Yeah,
as an adult. The George McFly scene was awesome too.
Yeah.
Like, he's really Georging it up. He is.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Which part am I missing?
Back to the Future. George McFly.
No, I understand who George McFly is. I missed
takes
the
out
part.
Biff. When he
gotcha.
That was everything.
Wim's looking at his hand going,
and he gets up and decks him just like that. Like, he knocked out Biff. Yes.
Yeah, I it was very, like, this whole thing was very telegraphed, right? Neo running to the gun, saving the day. I mean, it was all there and it was cool. And I'm like, that's awesome because
and again, hitting the tropes.
Yeah. Everything come back.
Yeah.
First off,
the bike rides.
Yeah.
Every 80s kids show, a movie.
Oh yeah.
We're riding bikes, taking on the adults, and we're gonna F them up.
That's right.
Yeah. The 5 of us are.
They had their role to play.
Yeah.
Kim came back into play, calling the X-wings, right? And I mean, like Dr. Brown. Okay, yeah, it needed at least one more scene to wrap up things, but I love it. Yeah, I felt the same way. I felt like there was some, not Jod's character, because I think I can headcanon everything and what he went through. We'll talk about Jod in a second.
He had a look in his eye at the end, right?
He was defeated. He was just like deflated, defeated, and.
But he was, but he's looking out the window and he's seeing everything go down, and he looks so sad. And then there's just a moment where he looks and he just kind of smirks a little bit, and then camera cut, and it's he's got something. He's got something he wants to do.
First off, Randall Hubby's right. Even if that's his name, who knows?
Yeah.
But it was like the saving, Ad-Atten come and the pirates come and the Ad-Atten's in control. Yeah, and the pirates start blasting things, which took me aback. I was like, whoa, all right, the pirates got serious. And like even Jod said, let the invasion begin. I was like, we are doing this? All right. Like, okay.
Like, could you just threaten them? They've never seen war.
No.
I mean, it was weird. And you come in a power drill with no battery at the bottom. That's right. If you look at it, it's just like I had it up in my. I'm like, that's exactly what that ship looks like.
It's a power drill.
It's a power drill without the battery on the bottom.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But I thought the same thing that
funny.
Brittany was saying earlier about why are we shooting them up? Why are we,
Yeah, like you want them to work. Well, Jod wanted them to work from. I don't know what the pirates. I think it was just a pirate thing to do, right? I mean,
that's what I took
pillage and plunder.
Pillage and plunder. Yeah. Exactly.
Right. That's what I saw. Pirates being pirates.
We rode off with the women and we raped the hedges, or we trim the hedges. Anybody?
Yes.
It hit Rhino Hobbies right there with what happened to Tack Renaud. He died, just like they said.
So there was. I will say this: in this series, there was nothing a mystery.
Nothing. There was no big reveal.
We even said
the droid in episode 1 probably, and then just went off on theories because it was more fun.
Yeah.
Because the droid made complete sense.
But we even said the supervisor could be a droid too. Like droids are
just doing a human voice.
And I'm like, it was just a big R2 unit, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. It was like HAL 3000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like
it was very Wizard of Ozzy when you came in. Right? Because you're like, oh, it's the big voice. We're coming in the tunnel. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, shit, the curtain is the wizard.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what Julie said, too. She's like, I feel like we're in the middle of the Wizard of Oz here. It's They're going to open up the curtain and he's going to be revealed.
Right.
Completely. And they kind of did. His eyeball was revealed, right? They kind of went through every kind of movie you could that was an adventure or coming of age type thing and just threw it in this.
And I think that's exactly, and I think that's why you could take this series and kick back with it. You know what I mean? Like there's not the fun part. The journey was fun. You know, don't get me wrong. Having 7 weeks of speculating and talking about it and seeing where this series go, because that's what we do, and
not being mad at it.
No, and when things go back, well, they telegraphed that like really head on last week. I mean, so
that's right. You know, if anything, we're mad at like, oh.
It happened the way exactly what they said it was going to happen. Mando might checking in. Yeah. Hey guys. Hey Pitt.
That might be the problem though, because it's obviously failing in getting viewers right now, right? But I think we talked about it a little bit last week. Nobody's hate watching it. Nobody has to. I don't have to watch this show more than twice. I'm good.
That's the thing.
You know?
So I even said today, just kind of thinking about, you know, when I turn the TV on. And I was like, you know, I probably will, and I said this to myself, like, I probably will visit Skeleton Crew again, but like maybe when it dies down, or maybe because this year we're gonna have some low points, right? So I'll visit it, and I think I'll have fun with it. Not like when I sit and watch like Mando stuff. When I sit and watch these other series that have impact, I really have to start from the beginning, and I don't just pick and choose a episode. I got to start. And I have to go in there and I revisit the whole thing. And then I put it, like I said, if I'm missing something, am I getting the bigger picture in my head, the whole lore, everything, alien species, planets, all that stuff. This one, it's almost like watching Stranger Things. You know what I mean? It's almost like watching that and you can like, all right, cool. I want to see that I want to see tetanus again. I want to see, you know, the bathhouse or the banking planet. Maybe there's some just cool Star Wars things.
The hotel planet.
The hotel planet.
That's what Neil called it. I love kids.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
What a very Star Wars thing to say, though, right? Because Hoth is the ice planet, Endor's the forest planet.
Yeah. Then they even called Kim the bird lady.
The bird lady.
He's like, yeah, you gotta call the bird lady.
Funny. Commander Bly, the entire population of Atten or Beta is happy to be controlled by droids. I think that's by design, right? Like, for this system to work, for Atten to work, and the Treasury Department of the New Republic or whatever, like they even did a callback of like, you know, you guys been sheltered this whole time. We've been protected this whole time
for generations.
Yeah, for generations. And it just makes sense that it was a controlled thing. And the only way to do it is put AI in charge of it. And AI just ran with it. I mean,
and just kept doing it because they hadn't heard from the Republic since Order 66.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's the last time they heard from the Republic.
That's crazy, right? Yeah. Hell Runner Base. I thought Neil's dad was involved with, or was the supervisor. Yeah, there was some speculation on that. It would explain his absence. Turns out he just didn't bother to help the other parents find Neil and the crew. Well, I think he was working.
Had to work.
Yeah, he was working.
One of them had to.
Somebody in this whole group has to.
Yeah, 100%. Rhino Hobbies, the crew on the speeder bikes was totally ET. It had, E.T. and the Goonies.
Oh, can I talk about a little? The hover bike thing. Oh, hey, kids came up on hover bikes. That's great. This whole show, I have never seen anybody else on a hover bike, but randomly, a house down, we got this random kid just sitting there on an adult size one, ready to get taken.
From the first episode.
But he's just chilling in the next house over, just waiting to be taken. I mean, like, come on.
He was just,
like, what are we doing here? There's an attack.
He was just there. He was just there,
chilling.
It was basically Bran taking the bike from the girl. That's my bike.
Yeah, it was.
It
was Bran.
It'd have been better if it was a kid's bike. I would have liked that. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
It was too small for him.
You gotta love though seeing the change in the dad, right? Like just
I was waiting for that, dude.
God.
Honestly, I was like, finally, dude, come on.
Slowly kept happening. Yeah.
Even on the bikes, he was being a punk though. I mean, he was still, come on, we're done. It wasn't until can you get it turned back on? Is when he completely changed characters.
Yeah. Well,
you're talking.
They saw it in the kid's eyes, like
7.
The leap over the gorge. It was the leap over the gorge.
That's what did it.
That's right. He got excited. That's right.
He found his inner child because like all betas on the planet, you know, it's they were driven to do one thing for generations, like Chris said, and no excitement. There's nothing happens on AT-AT, and you know.
Hey, let me talk about Neil, how excited how ready he was for everything. Sliding in on the hover bike.
Oh, yeah.
Rolling out of the spotlight before he went to the cannon. I love the little Neil just battle roll out of the way.
Yeah. Neil was the scarecrow, definitely, or the lion. He definitely found his courage, right? Like he found his
Jesus.
It's the whole Wizard of Oz thing. Who found his heart? You know what I mean? Like
had you thought that through? Have we done that?
No, the Wizard of Oz. Fern was the Tin Man. She found her heart, right? She finally cared about KB, and she finally cared about things. And Neil found his courage, and then Wim found his spirit, really, like his purpose in life, his brains, you know, and, or KB also learned how to be brave too, you know, I mean, there was
speaker mind type of
don't get pushed.
All right, that wasn't exact, so close enough.
That's exactly what the show was. It was close enough. All right,
everyone.
Close enough to Goonies to be Goonies, but not
who just wanted to go home to her mom.
Yeah, right. But it's also just to put this out there. It was close enough to Star Wars half the time.
Yeah,
you know, sometimes it was just one of those '80s adventures, and it was close.
It was 100%
Star Wars.
Yeah.
After this, it was more Star Wars than any of the other ones in this show. So it worked.
Basil, too bad the surprise electronic jugular was right behind his eye. Yeah,
that was
the
convenient.
Shutdown button was right there. The everything.
No redundancy.
Red Eye robot though. That's every Red Eye robot.
Yeah, hit him between the eye.
Every single Red Eye right, exactly. Is if that
every video game
immediately
the Red Eye.
I mean, all the Clone War, all the droids, on the eye. A pit droid hit him in the nose. You know.
Yeah. I'll run and talk about Neil's dad. He let his wife go into the woods and break security protocol on her own. He's not dumb,
bro. The dad was just in overtime. Did you see all those kids? They had 4 kids. I was that.
That's true.
You had to do all the overtime. You missed everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was forced to do that video because he could have been at work. So yeah.
Mando, why he's saying why is it when I like something you guys here hate it?
We don't hate it.
I don't think we said one bad thing about this. The Skeleton Crew.
We're just clowning it because honestly, it's just a good show.
Look, like I said, it's a good show, and like I said, it's safe. And the only thing I said is that safe means is that the norm going forward. That again, it's like fans are gonna bitch about a show not being progressive enough, and that's what I'm hearing about Skeleton Crew. And then when a show becomes progressive, if they bitch about it's too progressive. So I don't know what we want anymore. And that's what we're going to do a separate whole episode on the Old Republic and those rumors coming again. Because I really had a hard time over this weekend with that sentiment. Exactly like, do I really want it? Now I've been pushing. Now I'm like, wait a second.
What does
do
it
I
mean?
really? I really want the team taken over. But I digress on that.
All these shows are missing just like one thing each, right? Like I told you, Andor's missing some magic, right? Yeah. This one might be missing a little bit of Star Wars. Maybe put some of this heart into Andor. Maybe Ahsoka's got the magic that needs to go into that. Andor's got the look and the vibe.
Sure.
This one has the look, whereas like Kenobi and Ahsoka don't necessarily have the look all the time. Sometimes they're kind of TV, you know? Maybe you just got to figure it out where you've got great pieces in each one of them, and each one's missing something the other one has.
Yeah, there is. Right. There's one way to look at it, like you said, you break it down and a lot of people do that. This episode or this series or this movie and they put it separate shelves, right? I think for a lot of times what we do is we look at it as the entire umbrella also. So this pinpoint section on Andor Yeah, it looks great, but again, it's a point where it's a different part of Star Wars. This is a different part of Skeleton Crew. It's like this is one story out of millions of stories being told of their little side mission that happened to be part of the great works, part of Star Wars galaxy, but not directly affected by the Skywalker saga or anything moving forward. Now, again, we don't know what these kids are in the future. You know, I think Wim probably the only one would have a clear something that he could propel him into future films.
Wim would join the Republic as some sort of, he'd join the Republic military or something if they had one, right? He's going to be the Planetary Defense Force.
Yeah,
that's right. I totally.
They're going to need something, right? Because I mean,
he wants to be an X-Wing. Yeah.
Now that they're exposed to the galaxy as a whole, they're going to need to bring in these aspects of the New Republic to keep them safe, because everybody knows what At-Aten was, right? The treasure planet, and now the treasure planet is out there. They're going to need protection.
Oh yeah, the barriers down.
The 1139 volts down there.
Yeah. Commander Bly has a solution. Bring George back.
Everybody will bitch about that too.
Exactly. He'll come back to something. Wait a second.
You said about the not related to the Skywalker saga. Did all of us rewind? Lock X foils in attack position.
Oh,
did we all rewind that just to make sure?
Oh yeah.
And did we all check the credits to make sure? Because I did. It wasn't Luke. I was like, oh shit. Did they just throw Skywalker in there for 2 seconds just for fun? They didn't.
Yeah, no. I don't.
Any white guy that says something like that, I'm thinking.
That would have been. See, that's to me. That's more than just the Easter egg. That would have been like a monkey wrench, because I'm like, well, he's not supposed to be a part of this. He's doing the Jedi thing. We
don't know much of the timing yet.
We don't.
You, Vane is the only thing that links us to any timeline, and he seems out of place.
Yeah, I do think that the female X-Wing pilot, I think she was the E-Wing pilot from Ahsoka on Lothal. She looked very familiar. I forget what her name is, but
starts with a P.
Yeah.
So if she's an E-Wing pilot in Ahsoka, I mean, she got promoted. So this is way before that.
Yeah.
But we had B-Wings that came from Rebels.
Yeah, the B-Wings.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Actually,
Jedi.
That was designed.
Right, but they did lasers. The Rebels laser thing,
shot,
right? Which was great.
Correct, with all 4 lasers. So
that harkens back to Clone Wars technology, right? Mini Death Star technology.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, easy. Oh, there you go, Lieutenant Callahan.
There we go. That's who it looked like.
Police Academy.
They had the names of 2 pilots in there, and I forget what their names were. And I didn't recognize.
Mando by a 40-year-old Tarkin will land on At-Aten, and
I don't think we're that far back. No,
not that far back. No.
That far back. It's just somewhere. But I just think it's just I think it's just pre-Mando. I don't know why. I think they've timed it so if these kids do a second series and they get intertwined with everybody, their ages match up.
Yeah.
I think they left the time frame very, very ambiguous for that reason.
It could be. Commander Blythe, that money has to be connected to the First Order. Well, just like what Scott was saying, this is where the theory crafting comes into play, right? Now that this is kind of like they have no barrier. Yeah, everybody's on the planet, but it's not a secret anymore. And it's the last one of the 9 that survived. Definitely right for the taking for the First Order to be funded by Snoke and whatever, right? That could be something and maybe visited in the comics or whatever, how Snoke got his riches. Who knows? But it's there.
The Republic's there.
They're there.
You have to fight the Republic. Who's going to fight the Republic right now?
Right. There's nobody. Right. Pirates. That's it.
And they just took them right the hell out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would have been cool. Rhino Hobbies, a quick cameo of Zeb flying the B-Wing, checking it would have been nice. That would have been a cameo that we were like, all right, cool, right?
Yep.
There was no cameos really, other than familiarity on things.
Vane is the only character.
Vane is the only one, and he wasn't even a cameo. He was just part of the.
Yeah, I think he spoke in this one in a hologram a little bit, and got a little more FaceTime, but it's nothing like he had in Mando, which by the way has the right mix of look, heart, magic, and everything. If you're ever going to go back to it, that they had the formula in season 1 and 2 for sure. Season 1 for sure.
In Mando. Mm-hmm. Oh, season 2 solidified that. Like, bring it in Luke and Ahsoka.
That's the magic.
solidified
and the look and the feel.
Yeah. You're right, and I think that's why a lot of people maybe were like, "What did season 3 do?" Because we went back, we retracted back to Mandalorian
since, and everything since is you don't get that same feel you did at all with.
No, exactly. Jod. Now we got his got his backstory, we got everything. Like I said, with that slight exposition that we were expecting. Yep. He basically spilled his past and why he is who he is, So yeah, he was a foundling, right? A youngling. His master was killed in Order 66, and he basically said
she found him after. She was already desperate and hungry. She was desperate and hungry when she found him.
He said that she was a mess. She was a mess like he was, but he had potential.
So she took him under his wing, and then they got hunted down. The Inquisitor, I took it as the Inquisitors came, took her out, and didn't realize what he was, and just made him watch.
Sure. Well, it makes sense for his character to become disenfranchised with the entire life in general, and then just kind of go the pirate way. And he did fulfill that mission all the way through to basically seeing all his plans thwarted in front of his face. The New Republic coming in, the kids saving the day, and all that stuff. And it made sense, and it made for a sympathetic character, which is fine because Jod is Jod. It's not a Skywalker, right? So I kind of felt for his character, but understood everything that he went through just by this episode. Like, all right, I get it.
Oh yeah, little sympathetic villain. Don't think he should be turned.
Right.
He's decent enough.
Right. He didn't want to kill anybody. He even said it. I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want them to go back to work. And he did his best. He threatened a lot, but he wasn't going to pull that.
He didn't want to hurt the kids, right? Even when KB's ship went down, he was like, "See, honestly, you guys,
you see what you did?
Yeah.
You had Wim with a lightsaber and him with a blaster, and he surrendered.
Yeah,
he has the Force and a blaster, and he let Wim win.
Yeah,
that was him. Just, I'm not going to fight these kids.
Right. Yeah. It was exactly his true heart wasn't a true villain. Like, cut him down.
I know what you're saying with him and like what happened. That end one, but I think it was so good because like you can just go on and everybody lived happily ever after. And a lot of people were saying, so what happened to him? Did I miss something?
No.
I didn't feel like we needed to see.
No, we didn't. And that's
the planet, and
exactly. And I agree with that. I think that the way they left it off, you can kind of like just either there's two directions. Either he was arrested and the New Republic took over and he couldn't escape, and that's his life now, or like I said, I felt like he was just kind of like they won. Like the kids won, they beat me.
With the Wim yelling Jod in the elevator, like, "Aren't you coming with us?"
Yeah,
right.
Right.
He's not going to get in trouble, and he ends up staying there or something, or
even if he gets in trouble, he's smart. And remember when we found him?
Yes.
Right. He was the prisoner biding his time until it made sense. He knows right now if he kills these kids, he's toast. New Republic's not giving him anything. He can get imprisoned. Right. He can figure a way out. He can talk his way out. He has tons of options by not killing them.
Right.
You got to think that prison on At-Aten's got to be better than prison anywhere else, right? Dr. Brantley came up with a really interesting scenario right here. That's okay. With the way the credits ended, is it even real in universe, or is it just a fictional show on someone's data pad?
I like that because it was
a trip.
Little ending.
It was a data pad credit thing, and I looked at it, I go, oh wait, that's the first time they've done that, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
It was everything
and
you saw shown.
The crew. You saw Skeleton Crew on the final page of the data pad before.
I was actually expecting the camera to pan back and having someone else being, like I was expecting that.
Yeah.
Where it was almost like an end credit thing where so and so Broom Boy was reading.
I can feel that, but then I really took it as Wim finally got his real adventure, and now
that's how I saw it.
Maybe he's in the book
part
now.
Of the adventures now.
Correct.
In his mind, that's just how it was.
Yes,
it, not in real.
Yeah,
but
the real. Hails
the kids
of the
got
wheels.
to be there.
Yeah.
The real ending to the sequels, whereas R2 and 3PO telling the story of the entire, that in let's go, man. Every series should end that way, and 3PO is like, and then Wim. There was one thing I was going to bring up.
No why.
The big eye. Dun, 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 dun. He's even got the John Williams soundtrack in him. It's like
everything should be told by 3PO and R2. That's the best.
I still wish the sequels ended that way. You know, it was fast forward 5,000 years, and it's them two left, right? And they're telling the Skywalker saga, and we're just like, man, like a fever dream out. So there was one comment I was going to bring up.
Consult. What was that? The Crystal of the Founders. When
that was
a
great.
story.
The Crystal. I love it because imagination. So right here, Hal Runner. This is is Nina Nawood canon? So the reason that name is come
but
up.
John is Nana Wood.
Right. So would it be Nana Wood?
Yeah, I don't know, but this was
shit.
Who was Nina Nawood anyway? Like, she was never in the series at all.
She wasn't, but she was in the first episode as Jedi Nina Nawood.
In the credits on IMDb. And that's so we read that as like, either that could have been his daughter or his mother or a Jedi or something,
or the
right?
Jedi that adopted
him. Yeah, did he take her name after
it just never came
like Ray?
Nonsense.
One of his other 5 identities, right? It's just he's a name collector, right? He's Jod Nawood, Padawan of Nina.
Like Ezra.
If you're on the run, you don't use your name. That's just it. Yeah.
I still think we don't have his real name. So
no, exactly. Mando Mike, can we show appreciation for Chris's hoodie? That's dope. Yeah, the first thing he popped out, I was like, "Oh, cool sweatshirt, man, cool sweatshirt."
This episode is brought to you by the letter F.
Yeah, for fun.
For fun. F-U-N.
There was a Saturday Night Live skit that did that FU at University. It was good. It's funny. Will Ferrell. Hal Runner, I want there to be a when Wim actually finds out that all the Jedi are actually dead. Well, not right? Because if the stories if Ad-Atten was cut off after Order 66, then he doesn't know anything, right?
He doesn't know. Yeah, only the supervisor knows. I love that part about the supervisor. I love the supervisor's voice. And I love how the droids AIs in Star Wars are some of them, are obviously like humans, like 3PO and whatnot.
Yeah.
But he was really cool. He's also, what are you lying about? Being an emissary or being a Jedi? Like turns, his attitude turns. I like when droids' attitude turns. It's just neat making them a real life character, right? Him and 33.
And I actually, when we started watching the show and we have our theories about Ad-Atten and like, all these things, I kind of, at the end of the day, I kind of like that Jod was the only real villain besides the pirates, right? Jod and his gang was the only villains in the, exactly. Not Ad-Atten itself, not the droids, not some sinister plot. And I because it made me feel, like I said, with that kid movie thing, it was safer that Wim is on a planet that I want him to be back on that planet. I didn't want, never wanted to be like, I want him to go back home where it's this oppressive way of living, oppressive planet, all these things going on, but it really wasn't. It was just held in secrecy, obviously, because this is what happens when it's not, right? The pirates come, they get shot at in the streets for doing nothing. So so the supervisor knew the whole time what was going on in the galaxy.
Only at that last piece, the Jedi were traitors.
Order 66. That's it.
After that, he hasn't heard since Order 66.
I wonder if that's where the barrier came into play. Like after that,
it just seems to me odd that they would get that announcement, but yet nobody would know they exist. The Emperor wouldn't know where it was. It's just.
Well,
we got to take it as just fun,
Yeah, I mean, if we really if we really had to write a rule book, to me, I was like, all right, Order 66, emergency protocols, the supervisor on the planet, all the 9 planets or whatever, or some of them maybe didn't make it, created the barrier for that, and then it just disappeared, just like Camino disappeared. Right? It was erased, even to where, and it's probably a story there where the Emperor was trying to find it. But
I think the Jedi in that sector or whatever figured it out, hid it. Then the pirates come and get rid of what is it? Well, the pirates, see, they were there are coordinates on every planet. The Emperor would know that too. There's a lot of holes.
Yeah, there's
no need to get into them. And that's what I think is cool about the show.
I don't think there was enough time too for like the Emperor was only in reign for 18 years, right? So it's like,
he's got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I mean, 20 some years out. Yeah,
he was 90. Yeah, 20.
Yeah, so, so I do believe that there is some cutting room floor stuff going on here. But Mando says Reddit discussion says Nina Norwood was supposed to be in a flashback of an Order 66 scene, edited out. Yeah, could be.
It would probably just be that could be it, leaving him orphaned, and then he finds another Jedi later.
Last week we discussed this
Jedi
whole exposition. Yeah.
I always go back to Robot Chicken for the Emperor because like I could totally see Robot Chicken doing an episode where the Emperor was like, "No, build the Death Star. I know where all this money is. I just gotta find it.
I gotta find it."
Yeah, I promise it's out there.
But that Order 66 rumor, that's what I'm talking about earlier about some like there's smoke, there's fire. It wasn't Order 66. It would have just been her death. But she was a Jedi dying, so they took it as an Order 66, like at the moment. Like it's not happening during Revenge of the Sith. It's just happening years later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
however, so shouldn't At know about the Clone Wars? They would still have been getting transmissions during that time. Well, if the supervisor is controlling everything, he can control what's the information is being laid out in the planet.
Discerned, yeah.
That's how
protocol.
Yeah, it's almost like we don't tell them only what they need to know. Is you're on a need to know basis. Like, the galaxy's going to shit, but they can continue doing
and last he heard they were fighting, but they're still the Republic. So it's
right. They're still the Republic.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the Jedi were traitors. That was the last thing he heard. Not that there was an empire taking over the Republic, just that the Jedi were traitors at last transmission.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
That's I mean, how Runner says, so the supervisor was keeping information from people. Sounds sinister. I don't know.
Sometimes the AI can just know better.
Again,
know what's good for us.
Yeah, a need to know basis kind of stuff. I mean, that's what we live here like that.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, they've not received any information about the outside galaxy for 20 some odd years. Like, I think we're 6 years post Return of the Jedi, possibly at the latest. So that means almost 30 years of without any information from the outside galaxy. The outside galaxy is a shithole.
That's
this place is still pristine. So sinister or not, I want to live on At-Atten.
And I don't know what's happening on Uranus.
Galaxy.
Yeah, you definitely don't. But that was a point in this episode too. Was when it says like, I dreamed of the stars and being somewhere else, and damn it, it's ugly out. Like it's dangerous, but there's also
I know why it's good here. Is why he said, yep.
Yeah, but and I like that. I felt overall, like I said, I think
we didn't do grades. We should do overall grade. We're
I was just about to do that. Yeah, I was just about to do it. I've given most shows lately like a solid B, just because someone's like, hey, like I like it. I think I even give Alkali a solid B. This is a little bit higher up, and it's but also for many different reasons, like complete different reasons why I would give this a or B, whatever. It was almost like it was needed, even though it was safe. Like I'm calling it a safe show. It was still needed. It was still kind of cool to have. And
breath of fresh air.
Yeah, because now we're looking at this series and looking at the show as eyes as we were meant to look at it, like meant to look at Star Wars, where George Lucas meant this is a kid's show. Well, Star Wars really isn't a kid's show. It really isn't. Like if you really look at,
well, here's the problem. When you watch that show, when we watched Goonies when we were kids, we were the kids.
Yeah.
We watch this right now.
But I still feel that way though. Yeah, but I still feel but when I watch Goonies now, I don't put myself as like my son's adventure. I still get that feeling of adventure and wanting to do something with your life differently, not that mundane, stuff.
Oh no, so, I'm with Wendell. I'm level 7 system coordinator. That's what I'm doing, man.
I'm gonna be with like
adventures.
Yeah, like secure, and I'm gonna be totally opposite. It's like I'd rather do something fun and be poor than rich and boring. You know what I mean? Like that it's just a scenario. But like it's weird how shows take you back, even if it's even if there's kids in it and they're having kids and they're doing kid stuff, right? They're saying that they have their attitudes of actual 10-year-olds and all that stuff. We still feel we could still put ourselves in that situation and still feel that sense of adventure and joy, even as adults. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do for them because you can reminisce back. But I'm saying made for kids that's hopefully they feel
this was definitely made for kids. Like
show, way we feel about Goonies and things.
Like that.
But this generation is different. All these
because you look at exactly, because you know what? They're not tainted by the world. They're not dirtied by the world. They don't have bills. So Wim and Mikey from Goonies could be like, "Oh, we're gonna do this adventure," but like, damn kid, freaking electricity has to be turned on, and that's how the difference is. Like, we still got to work because we got bills to pay. Can't go out there and be.
We're wondering where Neil's dad is, and we're talking. We gave him an excuse. Somebody's got to pay the bill. Somebody's got to wait.
Exactly.
Ernie said he's working OT.
So there's a difference.
I wouldn't have said that in Goonies when I'm like, "Where the hell is the dad?" Fool's got to work, got to pay this last mortgage payment before the bank takes everything.
That's right.
All
it's
that stress. That whole neighborhood was losing their homes. We're worried about the kids.
And you know what? And I think, the Goondocks, I think that's why we gravitate to these kind of shows too, because it's that sense of like different problems. You know what I mean? If we had if they made Goonies 2 and it was about the same way, but their adventure is, we're going to open up an ice cream store because this is what we want, and then have those trials and tribulations. No. We want to be able to go outside and not worry about and just be gone for a week and do whatever we want and let the adults worry about the bills. And I think sometimes we want to let go of that. And I think that's what this show did too, because Wim didn't want his adventure to end, knowing that like he didn't know what the hell like his dad was going through and like the stuff that he just worried about himself. He wanted to do his own thing. Fern was like, we got, it was just growth all around. And I think that was cool at the very end, Yeah. I hope they didn't have Space State Farm insurance. Yeah. Did they cancel all those houses that got destroyed? Their insurance policies were canceled a week before.
Too soon.
What? Mando still never.
We've talked about this.
Well, Mando, I mean,
we've
like,
talked about this.
Man, our reaction.
A badge of awesome.
Yeah,
it's not. It's something that you should be talked about in therapy, and it's probably a reason for having issues you have. I think, Mike, you need to jump on Goonies.
Don't be so proud of that badge of honor you think that is.
Because you don't have any idea the fall of Corey Feldman. If
you
don't
watch
Goonies and then see him on stage.
100%. The Corey Feldman we know is not this one that we see.
The rise and fall of Corey Feldman.
Commander Bly was a solid family-friendly Star Wars show. 100%. So I'm giving
the only kill was Brutus.
Yeah.
Which sucked because Brutus would have been cool to see again.
Yeah. I'm giving this an A. But I'm giving it an A because I enjoyed it a lot and it was just refreshing. But I do not give it an A in the grand scheme of Star Wars, right? I don't know if I can give it a grade when it comes to like talking Star Wars. This is something completely different in my mind. I think society needs shows like this versus Star Wars, so I'm appreciative of what it was and the message it was and that sense of adventure was really cool. And so for that, I give it this an A. If I were to put it into like a list of things, I don't know where that would. I would really have to think about that because we kind of delve into those lists on importance and those really impactful moments, the I'm your father moments, on that stuff. So it's a different
hit the canon.
Yeah, it's a different scale than that. So that's where my criteria lies. What about you guys?
I personally, I give it a very high A. I think it ranks up there with. It's probably the most fun I've had with a Star Wars property since Rebels. I mean, everything else has been a bit heavy, right? Like Andor's great. Don't get me wrong, Andor's great, but Andor's heavy.
It is. Yeah.
Ahsoka's great, but Ahsoka's great. Ahsoka's great, but Obi-Wan was okay. Boba Fett was okay, but this still, without feeling like Star Wars, still felt like Star Wars. It just, I give it a solid A.
Okay, all right, Ernie.
I loved it. What's up, Joey? I loved it. Very, very solid A. I was waiting for Tuesday every week. I was telling non-Star Wars fans to watch it.
Same.
What a great show this is. Don't worry. And I do put it in a Star Wars universe, even though, I get your guys' points of saying, so it wasn't this, it wasn't that. To me, it was because of the whole kid thing.
Okay.
Whim, the whole, reading about all these Jedis and what he wants to be. This adventure for them was just different. I loved all the callbacks to our 80s nostalgia, which was great. So, of course, it got me. But in a very long time, I haven't been so excited to watch a show.
Yeah.
Literally. I've been feeling like crap for a couple of weeks now. I actually passed out when I got home yesterday. And I think I woke myself up because I was like, I have to watch it.
Right.
Like, even without waiting or anything. And I did. It was like 8 p.m. And I was like, oh, crap. I can't go on social media. No, nothing. I watched it and then I passed back out.
Well, sometimes I took my time with this one, but I knew Chris was like, I'm watching it 2 minutes. I'm like, well, I got to watch it too. I can't have Chris watch it before me. So I'm like, yeah, exactly.
God,
no,
fight Chris.
It was great.
Fight Chris.
Such a high A for me because I
Nice.
felt it was Star Wars, and anytime that I can get people back into Star Wars or tell them about Star Wars,
Right on. Okay.
here's a show I'm going to show them. So,
All right.
Yeah.
Close it out there, Chris.
I feel bad now because I'm not an A.
Okay.
I'm a B
again,
plus. I'm a B
that's
plus.
you. Yeah.
But it's because of the rewatchability, I think, for me, and the importance in the sagas, right, and the overall universe.
That's why
the rewatchability I say is because if it were a movie and it played out like Goonies and this, like we've seen, right, I would put it right around the Solo world where it's cool to have, and I'll watch it when I'm chilling and I got something to throw in for 2 hours, right. But there's not often I'm going to have time to watch that series unless I'm doing a full rewatch. And then it'd be cool. I think a one time through was cool. And I'll probably watch it one more straight, right? But a lot of the fun in this show was kind of wondering what was going to happen with the kids, seeing it happen, and seeing the callbacks to other stuff. It was kind of fun to see that every week.
Yeah.
Once that's gone, I don't know if it's going to be as fun anymore. I mean, it'll
like
be
watching
fun
The Sixth Sense, right? You watch The Sixth Sense, and then all of a sudden you get it, and it's it loses its rewatchability. I get
right,
that.
and I don't have anything against the show. I really think it was. I mean, I don't want to say flawless, but I mean, it looked great. The music was fantastic. They didn't do the pop stuff, right?
They didn't do it.
The characters were great. I loved every kid. Like I mentioned very early in the first episode, probably I knew all their names right away.
Right.
I couldn't tell you the acolyte names, but maybe 3 or 4 of them.
Right.
And I have to think about it.
Yeah.
So you really cared about them, and that's neat. The aesthetics were cool. The ships were cool. The aliens were cool. Nothing about it screamed like I should get a C or anything. It was just really solid work.
Right. Right.
A twist here and there might have put it up to an A minus, just because I never got to neat.
Yeah. Right. No. This show is one. Like I said, you get up and you go back. You go about your day after. There was no. What did I do? What I have to revisit? Where I got to talk to people. It was just kind of like, hey, that's cool. This is going to be cool to bring up on Wednesday.
Not 1 week do we all say, "Oh shit, did you see that in the chat?"
No.
Not one.
No.
Not 1 week do we do that.
No.
And even on Acolyte, I think we were like, "Oh shit, did you see that stranger fight?"
Right.
There's got to be a little bit of something, but that's just a great thing because you don't have to have it. You just end up being normal and solid.
Yeah. Like I said, I think as a series, it's an A, but again, as a Star Wars thing, I have to think about it. I'm not ready to put it in its place yet. And it's not bad.
In Star Wars, like I said, I put it like Solo. It's got lightsabers. It's got the Force. It's got pirates and ships and
like I said,
magic. I'm cool with it.
I put it side by side with, like I said, the Ewok Adventures stuff. Because again, I really like Caravan of Courage. I thought Caravan of Courage had some really good heart to the movie itself. I'm not talking about the aesthetics, but the or Wicked talking speaking English. But I'm just saying, like in that vein of. That's cool. I do want to get the pits, your grades and stuff. How did you guys overall grade this series and everything? As you guys are putting those in, I wanted to bring Commander Blythe's comment up here, and this is interesting to me because again, I saw this a couple times. He says, "My wife was in the room while my youngest son and I were watching Skibbity Crew. She asked, what did they do to Star Wars? made me realize how different this was from New Hope. I read that and immediately I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. That comment. What did they do to Star Wars? And it's different now. It has changed. It really has changed. When I just got the new Luke and Leia Black Series, the updated versions, right? And I look at it and I go, look how minimalist it was. Leia had a white dress. Luke had a white shirt and yellowish pants. That's it. Like they were just so simple. They weren't nothing overpowering about them. They were normal looking, everything. Star Wars in general is very industrial and very kind of like not shiny. And then you look at Acolyte where there's piercings in every freaking square space of them. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference between that Star Wars feel of the past, how we grew up, and what it became. And it is changed. And I don't think it's bad. I just think it's different now. You know, that sentiment of what did they do? And like I said, Commander Black, I don't know if she meant it as a bad thing or just like, what did they?
It didn't sound like a good thing.
Yeah, well, I'm trying not to make it a bad thing, I guess. Where I was like, yeah, I mean, I can understand some people like they just totally destroy it, whatever. This
was a very, especially when you're on an AT-AT, is a very earthly show. So if you're looking at Star Wars versus A New Hope, Empire, anything versus Skeleton Crew, it's going to look way effing different, right? Yeah. But you know, and obviously that's my biggest problem with the show. One of my biggest problems was that. The earthly bit.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
You know? I think probably what happened to it, because when they're in space, when they're on other planets, I'm
Star Wars.
I'm in Star Wars. Go into the spa planet. Totally in. That's Star Wars, because we've read books. We know there's other things out there, so that's cool to see. You know.
Yeah.
We've been to casino planets. I mean, a spa planet is not that far off.
No, it made total sense. I dug it. Yeah, I feel bad because B+ is not a negative thing. I just feel really bad. I'm like, damn, everybody's like popping off, like really loving it. I dug it. I'm kind of like Andor. You know, I'm like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch it again.
So Rhino Hobbies with an A-, Commander Bly with a solid B.
Solid B, yep.
Yeah, we've got Basil G with a solid A. Hal Runner, just to be different, is a 7 out of 10. Dr. Brantley, I wish all other Star Wars shows were this fun, A. And she was just noticing the stark differences in look and tone. So, yeah.
Yeah, which would be like jumping from, say, even if you do Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope back to back. Like, I've done it with my kids, and they're like, whoa, you know, what is that? Cool. Immediately we know. So, welcome to Hot Topic. We're going to be discussing. Let me kick Mark.
Mooch just let me know that he had some internet problems, so we'll just
shit,
the slack here for
that completely took me off track. Well, go ahead. Where are we on now? We're at 9:14.
A New Hope takes itself seriously. Skibbity Crew is more goofy and fun. I kind of look at this also. I was looking at this through the eyes of, all right, so they're on a planet that's a lot like Earth. They haven't had all these experiences. It's almost like Luke, though, right? Because Luke hadn't had any experiences. He grew up in a very boring life. You know, it's the adventure came looking for him instead of him leaving the planet and finding the adventure, which is the main difference here between these kids and Luke. That and they're also a lot younger, but I also have that same question right there. What is Skibbity? I see Skibbity toilets at Target. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a meme thing, I think. I'm too old to...
There was still another... Yeah, I was going to say that. Joey's solid B. He said, better than the Acolyte. Enjoyed it. It's a good Kickstarter for future young Star Wars fans.
Yeah. If you want a kid to watch some Star Wars, watch some Skeleton Crew, because that's a cool start, and it's an easy start, and it's, you know.
And as much as we love A New Hope, there is no denying that it is a slow movie compared to everything that has come since. Any other Star Wars movie that has come out, it is it's like you're watching Rogue One and you're like, oh my God, this is great. And then you hit A New Hope and it's like breaks.
We're taking a nap for 2.5 hours. It's just, totally.
And that's just the nature of the beast, right? It was filmed in the 70s. It's an art film. It didn't
have the budget to be big and badass, you know?
No. And movies nowadays, you know, you've got to have something flashy to look at every 10 seconds. I think though that this was a good balance between that. You know, you still had the kid feels. Oh, hey, look! I think we're getting joined by a Darth Moocher.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. The hills have eyes. People must have came down and chewed on my internet cables.
People, not even the animals, just people come.
No, there's no people. The animals out here. I'm sorry about that.
It was the rat from SM33 who made a great comeback in this episode too. By the way, that was young lady, hold my head steady.
Yeah, it was good. He was still there, and then it's kind of he just moseyed along with him at the end. I'm
going
to be with you guys now. You know,
you're going to come live with me now.
That's what it was. Shit.
the dude was Chunk.
Yeah.
Chunk Sloth.
You're going to live with me now, SM33. Do you like that?
So which one gets him? Because, I mean, technically, Fern is still the captain. So does
He'll go
SM33 go with Kurt?
Definitely go live with Neil.
It does seem like a Neil thing.
Then it's definitely
Neo was
Chunk
right away back in the bathtub.
Gratuitous nude scene from Neil. Yeah, we didn't need all that.
That's the second time. He's always in the bath.
What is going on?
Those species really get dirty, don't they?
That's what I hear. That's why she got so many kids.
I did want to. I don't know if I missed about 5 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. Dr. Brown, he gives it an A, but he wishes all the Star Wars shows. You already went through this? Okay.
Yeah, you're not going to do this 5-minute recap.
We catch on
from 9:17 down, buddy.
Sorry.
We had already
9:17 down. Got it.
our theory crafting, what we want to see next. We were just wrapping it up.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't see a season 2. I don't want a season 2.
No, I don't. No need.
But I'll take it and I'll watch it. That's the whole thing. I'll watch it. I don't mean. Hey,
they tell a whole story about Ed Atton to bring Ed Atton in, and not a Skeleton Crew 2, but they're gonna have to deal with Ed Atton somewhere in canon, right? Like,
exactly.
It's part of New Republic. There's a fortune there. One of these things is worth a ton. They've got 1,100.
I like the fact. I like the comments of like the First Order, slowly doing these grabs. Now that maybe it's public, or that planet is a thing.
Well, you've also got to have somebody internal in the Republic probably working for the First Order too, right? So
if you know what, the Mando season 3 made a very good point of this integration between the old ex-Imperials and the New Republic, right?
Right.
And then what's happening? I mean, they still have the Shadow Council. Do you? I still think like they're integrating, but they're not accepting, and they're plotting.
Something like this pops.
Yeah,
they get pulled real quick.
Exactly, because the First Order is going to be, it's from the ashes of the Republic, so they're going to have to. It's like when they make themselves known. I think it's earlier than Force Awakens. I think that because even in the horrible cartoon Resistance, it was the whispers and this and that.
It was in the book, in the Leia book too. The Leia, Jesus, I think it was written by Claudia Gray. The Princess Leia book. It hinted at the First Order making its first appearances almost like 5 years before the events of the Force Awakens, I believe.
And I think
what was it? The other Claudia Gray book. It was the really
You're right.
One.
You're right. Yeah, not Princess Leia. It was the other one. Yeah.
Hold on.
Master. No, that was before.
Yeah. He's going to the library.
He's going to the Jedi archives. Yeah, of course.
I don't know why I can't see it.
How long is your
not Lost Star? Where the hell are all?
I know, right? Like, I'll be jaking my computer down.
Yeah, me too. I'm jealous right now. He got Bluetooth headphones. When did he get those?
But I think if it'd be cool if like those Imperials, those ex-Imperials got
bloodlines.
Right there.
Got them same time.
Tied.
Yeah, they would leave the New Republic and join the First Order, and then do this thing. So that'd be. Look, we're always trying to make the sequels make sense. So,
and all I'm thinking about is the kids. I'd have to have the same kids, but as much as they get older and everything, and then it changes it.
It's because this again. We talked about this a little bit before, right? This show was filmed a little bit ago, so these kids are older already.
Yeah,
right. So that's why the timing of the Mandoverse is weird. But when they start bringing them in and doing stuff, we could see the kids. But I just don't need another kid adventure.
Yeah,
because they just have it.
I think if there's a story there, then cool.
When Wim's a teenager and he goes off to join the rebellion or the Republic, something with a RE, he'll then we can join him again.
It's I'm okay with characters moving on. Like, say for example, it's even if we had a show that's closer to the sequels, right? And Wim's character's in, but it's not that actor, right? It's just him growing up, but have the origins of where he came from. It makes sense that he would be this going to and join the Republic as an X-Wing fighter. That's what he fantasizes, So I like that more than I would a Skeleton Crew season 2. I'm still in this kind of mindset of like Star Wars should do these they have these titled shows, but then a Star Wars overall show that kind of gives the story of what's going on versus a concentrated story. And therefore you can have a Stranger continuation. You can have a Whim continuation. You have all these kind of like things going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know that Anakin Skywalker is checking in. Good morning, Jedi Art. So and then Dr. Bradley says if it isn't in the archives, it doesn't exist. 100%. I was about to
Runner's point, the First Order and Hux's dad were in Mando 3. So yeah, there it exists. Yeah. And even in Aftermath, it was getting built. Yeah, it's not quite the First Order yet. And it's not, haven't got it named, completely set up. It's I think that's awaiting Thrawn, to be honest. Because even in the Aftermath books, not that everything's perfectly canon anymore, right? They talked about and didn't say his name. Did they say his name? Thrawn, they mentioned either the Blue Alien or the Grand Admiral or something that the Emperor sent him.
There was a mention
into the unknown regions,
right? In the Aftermath, I have to revisit
which I can headcanon now into. He knows where Thrawn is the whole time when he leaves in Rebels, right? And he leaves him there to deal with these witches until it's time. Whatever, I can kind of headcanon that piece in. But it's all kind of existing. It's not really known anywhere outside of them as they're building it. It's Bloodline where it kind of goes, this is what's happening,
Yeah. I think it all hinges on Ahsoka season 2 myself.
Yeah, because they have no problem fucking with that. Sorry, there's my F. Messing with Aftermath because they've done it already. Aftermath was so early in the canon.
It was before it was
the first thing.
It was before the movies, right? Like it was 2015, 16, like right before Force Awakens, they started with was the books leading up to Force Awakens.
Yeah, the lead up to the Force Awakens. It was the first publishing initiative once Disney took over.
Yeah, they had the Battle of Jakku, the contingency plan. Man, that's cool. Like there's a lot to explore there still. So,
yeah, they can screw it up 10 different ways.
100%. And again, that's why I got real scared about the Old Republic rumors. I really did. Like at first, I'm all, I'm all fist play. Yeah, bring it in.
Oh, we didn't. Okay, so the real rumor that we really need to talk about in the animation, right? That, like I said, they were going to do Tales of the Sith this year, and it was going to be or Tales of the Force or whatever the hell, and you're going to get a Baylan Skoll, and the word was Bane. Like finally, they're going to bring Darth Bane in animated. That was I forgot where I saw that, but it was really for me to say it out loud means it mattered to me that I saw it from somewhere reputable at least. But yeah, we're supposed to get a Baylan animated and a Darth Bane.
I'm down.
Okay, let's go. All right, I'm in.
Yeah, even if it's just the shorts, I'm totally in. Now, if it's the animated, like a show, that's great because there's supposed to be 2 animated shows in the works too.
Well, Visions 3 is coming.
I think besides Visions doesn't count as shit.
We say that
that's a one-off. I'm talking about series.
Vision season 3 is coming a bit. That's what they might say. That's what maybe Disney means as animated show coming. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. They're
saying series, like a Filoni series.
Oh yeah. There exactly. Yeah, there was, and it's probably going to be the whole Omega Ventress tie in there, and then let's go old, man. Like tired of the Clone Wars stuff.
You could probably do Bane better animated, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you could do Old Republic better.
Animated because even the cutscenes in the Old Republic stuff are as good as any movie. Yeah, we said it back then when they came out and they started putting the cutscenes in the trailers. We're like, just make movies like that.
That'd be great. Yeah. All right.
We don't. Let's get out of here. Star Wars animated do in the theaters.
Yeah, I just saw the War of Rohirrim, and I was like, this is great. I want more of this stuff. More.
But you were the only one in the theater.
I was the only one in the theater, so I'm the only one that wants it. So
you're not getting it anymore.
What does that tell you?
Well, I'm currently rewatching the Clone Wars movie. It's so far taken me 2.5 days to get halfway through the movie.
It's an hour and 30 minutes. He's like, this is gonna take me 3 weeks.
Yeah, that was before Clone Wars got cool.
Yeah, and I'm trying to watch Clone Wars in a chronological order, which the order of those episodes are so incredibly screwed up.
That first season's effed. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. I'm like, we go like halfway through season 1, actually should have been episodes 1 and 2, then the movie, and then we go to episodes 1 and 2 of season 3.
Yeah.
And then we continue on from there. It's like, what the hell? Why am I watching Kill Bill Star Wars version?
Yeah.
You know, it's
exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we could cut it out for tonight, guys. And next week, I think we got when we're exiting the era of Skeleton Crew, and we're going to be ushering in Andor season 2 as it starts to hype up. Because that's our next show as far as what we get in line with. Now,
when is it? Is it this year?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's I forgot the exact time. I don't know if it was April or July. Forgive me. We'll get the exact. It might be July. Might be summer. Andor season 2 might be summer. Yeah, I know. It's already. I mean, it's been done. But we got Celebration Japan in April. I think that's what it is. And then Andor.
Yeah, we got to get through some Marvel shows. That's how they do it.
Yeah, and of course we're going to be in line with that, and we're going to be anticipating what's happening for Celebration. But again, I think we have some really cool talk and some episodes coming up. We want to revisit Shadows of the Empire. Want to visit some Old Republic stuff. Yeah.
April 22nd, 2025 is the tentative scheduled debut date.
So it's right at Celebration Japan. It's going to be happening as it goes on. It's cool. So that's right on the corner. So I will do. Yeah, we'll start to get our headspace around that now and try to analyze Andor as it comes up. So it's okay, man.
There's my rewatch of Andor.
Yeah.
I just did it not too long ago. I'm gonna need to do it.
Oh yeah, Hellrunner is Coachella weekend. Sorry, Coachella weekend.
I'm out.
Our bad.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, let's get out of here. I'm gonna kick it over to Ernie. I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you, everybody. I will see you next week. Ernie, take us out of here.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Again, if you're part of the replay crew, please drop in the comments what you thought of the Skeleton Crew. What was your grade? What were your points? And was there anything that we missed? Please let us know. Hit that thumbs up. And if you will be so kind, hit subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and hit all so you don't miss when we're on, like Mondays and Wednesdays and all those great toy reviews in between. Go check them out. The Ghost. Did you get your Ghost? Did you like our video? What do you think? Is it definitely playable? Where did you put it? Where did you put yours? Because
that's the question.
Thing is massive. Right. So go check it out. Let us know. Also, you can catch us on all social media as well. Go over to Facebook for some 24/7 Star Wars talk. We have our own Discord as well. Lots of stuff popping off over there, too. Don't forget TikTok while it's still here. We got all our little 1-minute toy reviews. Twitter, Instagram, and so much more. Thank you to tonight's sponsor, Tashi Station Emporium, for all your figure stand needs. They got stuff going on there with different files and bases that you can get and everything to just hype up your toy photography or your toy displays with much more. The link is down below. Also go subscribe to that YouTube and check it out if you're into 3D printing stuff. So much more to come. This guy's actually getting projects done over there.
Yeah,
cool guy.
Yeah. I am.
Yeah. So go check it, and next week we'll see you back here. Thank you if you happen to stumble upon us because the algorithm. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, and we'll be here next week.
Cool. Well,
heck yeah, that,
Scott.
Keep it nerdy, everybody.
Yay! Bye. I said it.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.